Welcome back to Conservative Conversations. I'm your host, Reid.
And I'm Frank.
And today, we're coming to you from Milwaukee as we are in town for the Republican National Convention. And just earlier today, they officially nominated Donald J. Trump as the nominee for the next president of the United States.
That's right, and Senator J.D. Vance is going to be his running mate.
Yes, which was sort of a shock to me. I knew his name was like on the top of the list, along with Governor Doug Burgum from North Dakota and Senator Marco Rubio. And J.D. Vance was not the first person I would have picked out of those three. He's definitely a good guy. I like him, but a little surprise to me.
I think he's a good one. I like J.D. Vance. You know, we live here in Ohio, so
Right.
I think J.D. Vance is great. And, you know, he's young. He brings energy.
Yep.
And ever since that thing, the train derailment happened in, where was that?
East Palestine.
Yeah, East Palestine, Ohio. You know, he brought a lot of attention to that matter.
Right.
He's done a lot for East Palestine. He's done a lot for Ohio already.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great choice. I didn't really see Marco Rubio as being too great of an option, you know, especially the way Trump dogged him the last time around, little Marco and all that.
Right. I thought Marco could have been a decent choice, especially to help bring over some more of the Latino vote. But I think one of the problems with picking him is you can't have the president and vice president be from the same state. Like, Marco Rubio would have had to, move, or, his place of residence would have had to not been in Florida.
Really? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I forget what the reason is, but I heard it a couple times in the past couple weeks while people have been talking about the vice president.
Well, you know, one of the other things I was going to say about J.D. Vance being from Ohio is they say that no president's ever won the White House without winning Ohio. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that about a couple of different states also. So I wouldn't really doubt it, but I suppose I don't see that to be too special.
I just wonder if it's part of what went into the calculus.
Good point. Yeah, that is could be. I thought Doug Burgum could have been decent pick too. He's a little unknown, so people. Sometimes I feel like that can help, as not being so well known that people will have a bunch of dirt on you already or have too many prejudgments about you.
Yeah.
And he's big into technology, which I think would be helpful, in the administration, having somebody who understands technology a lot better, because I'm sure we've complained in the past on the episodes, maybe if we haven't, I know I have in private conversations, that when they have these hearings in Capitol Hill about social media or whatever other kind of technology, half the people, the representatives and senators, don't even know what they're talking about.
Right.
So I thought having somebody who's built their business around technology in the White House could have been, a slight advantage for stuff like that.
Elon Musk would have been a good one.
Yeah. Oh, goodness, I can imagine that.
I can't either.
Right.
What a bombastic administration that would have been.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, that's partly one reason why some, the political commentators wasn't so sure that J.D. Vance would have been the right pick, because he's kind of Trump-esque, if you will, in his own way, as opposed to someone more mellow like Marco Rubio.
Well,
if that makes sense.
It was Trump's choice, and he chose Vance, and I support it. I support him.
I do too. Yeah, definitely.
And I have to say, I think it's pretty cool, very exciting to be here in Milwaukee,
right?
Where we get to rub elbows with all these bigwigs,
right?
Of course, they're not staying in the same hotel as us or anything, but we plan on running into a few and hopefully getting to interview some people out on the street.
Yeah, that's part of our plan. We're going to be walking around the city of Milwaukee outside the convention area, trying to talk to people on the street, try to talk to regular old Milwaukeeans who are just living there and people who are there for the convention, trying to get a good range of people. I don't know how we're going to spot the difference, but hopefully that's what we'll get.
Well, and we're also going to go check out the protesters. There's going to be
Yes.
tons of protesters, but I think that the authorities are keeping them, sort of in a designated place.
Yeah, like a corral.
Yeah, for the most part. So we're going to go check out them and see what kind of stink they're doing, whether or not they're burning any bras or whatever they do these days.
They like to burn the flag.
Well, that'll be a shame to see, but we're going to go check it out.
Yep. Hopefully we'll get a couple of them that are willing to talk, that aren't going to be too nasty.
That's right. So if you're here, feel free to reach out to us too. You can always find our emails in the show notes. We'd love to get together and see you for a beer.
Right.
You can come meet up with us on the street and be interviewed.
Right.
Have your voice put out on the air.
Right. You can leave a comment on our YouTube channel or in any of the videos. We'll see it and we'll respond to you. Hopefully we'll meet up. It'd be great. I mean, there's going to be tons and tons of conservatives in the city, so we'd love to be able to meet fellow conservatives.
That's right, and we'll be decked out in our swag. We'll be the guys in bucket hats that say contempcoraryconservative.net.
That's right.
And bright colored...
I said handmade.
Handmade, yeah. In USA.
Yeah.
That's a 30 Rock joke. Anyway, but... yeah, we'll be out there in our white bucket hats, our brightly colored shirts that say contempcoraryconservative.net. So feel free to walk up, find us, sit for an interview.
Right? Definitely. And also, while we're on this recording, at the time of this recording, there was certainly some big news that happened over the weekend. And if you live under a rock, we're about to tell you that somebody had attempted to assassinate Donald Trump while at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Luckily, by the grace of God, Trump happened to just get his ear grazed, and at least as far as he goes, not fatally injured, unfortunately. There was one person who was killed and a couple people injured.
Like one bystander.
Yes, yeah.
You mean, yeah, because they also shot the gunman.
Right. Yes. So that was definitely some big news over the weekend, and I've had mixed feelings about it. I mean, at first it was a shock and kind of upsetting and stuff like that, but further, as, how am I trying to say it? As later on after it had happened, at least for me, it's kind of strange to say it, but it almost made me feel hopeful, because it's mostly Trump's reaction to the whole thing that, to me, was really kind of inspiring and hopeful and truly amazing and awesome. Not just, oh, that's awesome, the real definition of awesome.
Yeah, because he didn't just take it lying down.
Right.
He got right back up. He had to show his strength to the crowd.
Pumping his fist.
Yeah, showing them that he loves us.
Yep.
He supports the country. He's showing strength.
Right.
And the crowd, as soon as he got back up and did that first fist bump, they all just started chanting, USA,
right.
USA. And I just think that's so cool. I mean, it just makes me smile to even say it again here now.
Right, because none of those people knew. Like, the people out there chanting USA, I mean, at least as it seemed, nobody had fully realized what was going on and if the situation was under control. But here the crowd is, in front of Trump, who's standing up, putting his fist in the air, chanting at him, and it's like they're not even fazed. It's in a way. So, yeah, it
was amazing.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing thing.
It truly was. But it is a sad situation that, it had taken place, and one of the kind of funny things. Not funny, ha, but, some of the commentators on TV are out there saying, this is not America. This is not who we are. And one of the things that popped in my head, is, yes, we in this country do our best to stay away from those types of things, not to engage in political
and we
violence.
don't condone it.
Right, of course. But it's not new. It's not like this is an unprecedented type of situation for our country. For Pete's sakes, the biggest Republican in the country's history was assassinated. Abraham Lincoln.
The first.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's been other presidents who have been assassinated or attempted assassinations, and other political leaders.
Well, yeah, and remember, I had to point that out. I don't remember if we were in the car driving up here or not, but, Trump, Martin Luther King Jr., and Abraham Lincoln are all Republicans.
Yep.
How
Ronald
cool
Reagan.
is that? Ronald Reagan, yeah,
Yep.
I forgot about his attempt. You're
Yep.
right.
Yep, exactly. So it's unfortunate that it's happened, but I find it odd to go around saying, this is not who we are, and this is not America. Well, of course nobody wishes for it, nobody condones it, but it's not like it's a foreign event to us.
Well, and I would just like to say, there have been a lot of people coming out and making comments after this, and some of them have been good, some of them have been bad, but one of the most beautiful things that I think has come out after this is Melania Trump.
Oh, yes.
Said some very lovely things. I would definitely highly encourage anybody who's curious to go check out the statements that she made following the attack, because it's very encouraging. Trump, I don't think, is always the best at showing, but
Sure.
He is a man of faith. He does believe in God. And like you said, it was by the grace of God that he was spared.
Right.
It was not his time to go, and thank God, because he's got a job to do.
Right, exactly. Yep, the job of being the 47th president of the United States.
And we are so lucky to be here in Milwaukee to see him be officially nominated.
That's right. It was pretty good. We were listening in on the nomination earlier. It was kind of exciting. I thought so anyway.
This whole thing's exciting.
Yes,
We're
it
part
is.
of history here.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
And just on that note, I'd like to take a moment to thank our listeners who have followed us. If anybody has been with us from the beginning or has ever gone back and listened to our early works that we've churned out, I mean, we've been plugging away at this for a long time, and this was always one of the goals, to be able to see these things for ourselves,
Right.
be present while the news is happening,
Right.
not just have to sit at home and see it second and third hand, with some commentary in the background.
Right. And being able to mingle with other like-minded conservatives at some of these events.
That's right. I mean, we've gone to a Trump rally before. You remember that?
Yeah, this was like, I don't think it was necessarily the rally for him. He was rallying.
No, he was rallying for Patrick Morrissey.
Yeah, back in like 2018.
Yeah, when the Senate seat was up.
Right. Yep. And it was pretty fun then.
Well, what I was going to say is it was almost like church. I mean, I felt like that. Everybody was so nice and kind.
Right.
Everybody's there for the same reason, the same goal. They all come from sort of the same political stripe, So it was a very welcoming place, very church-like, It was just, there was an energy in the air.
Right.
And I think that's one of the cool things about these things, too, is, there's a certain energy that these exciting moments put out into the ether.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I am here for it, as they say.
We are here.
Yes.
Here in Milwaukee.
That's right. We're literally here for it. We're spiritually here for it. And what else?
All of the above.
All of the above. That's the good way to put it. That's it. Be sure to stay tuned throughout this week and next week as we release some of our material that we capture while we're here in Milwaukee. And already, if you become a paid subscriber to our Wiki Wacky radio show, you can listen to an episode that we called Car Talk, The Road to Milwaukee. During the drive up here, I dug out the microphone and the iPad and recorded us in the car for a little bit. Frank was driving, I was in the shotgun, and it was pretty funny. So if you want to hear a little bit of that, be sure to become a paid subscriber and check out the Wiki Wacky Radio Show. And we'll also be releasing exclusive material for Conservative Conversations, so also become a paid subscriber for that show to check that out also.
That's right. Like Reid said, we should be putting out a good bit of material while we're here, at least creating a good bit of it. Some of it may come out in later sessions, later time. But for those of you who like our shorts, I know we get a lot of traffic over there, and we should be able to put out a couple of good shorts from this as well. So look forward to those.
Yes. And we would like to remind you to please follow us on your favorite podcast platform. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and many more. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search at Conservative Conversations 92.
We hope you might share us with a friend or two and encourage them to become paid subscribers so that they can have access to the same bonus-related content that you have access to. And as always, we thank you for listening.